Don't ever go with the flow, be the flow. And I don't need no middleman to talk to my nigga. I understand if you don't understand. That's where we differ.
Yeah, once again, yes. We in the building. Welcome to the We Differ Podcast, episode number 3.
Trace.
Episode number 3, we're going 52 weeks straight. And to prove my dedication, I am extremely under the weather. So today's podcast is sponsored by Mucinex.
Fuck out of here.
And this coffee mug that my mama got me a few years back. Yeah, I feel like shit. All right, run it back. I'm here with my lovely, amazing, beautiful co-host, A. Did I say that earlier?
No.
All right. Well, here she is right here. She's beautiful. Look at her right there. How was your weekend? Your everything?
My weekend was cool. I was invited to some last minute birthday plans, so I had to travel to Jersey. But other than that, just it was cool. How was your weekend?
That's super lit. You super mellow. I can barely see your vocals. I'm hoping they picking up. Yeah, it's been chill. Outside of being sick, everything's been going amazing.
Well, you weren't sick this weekend, so.
I didn't know I was sick, but I was sick. I just felt like that feeling not want to do shit. I didn't feel like that. But yeah. So speaking of being sick, I just want to talk about COVID real quick. Just a quick second. Y'all be safe out there because this shit is spiking back up. Younger people. I know sometimes we get a little reckless and we just be out here, but don't be out and around all these people and bringing this shit back to your family members, your older family members, or family members who might not have as strong as immune systems as y'all. Once again, this shit is spiking back up. I think the panic is over, so I think it could be worse this time because we not panicking. Like right now, we before we thought that shit would turn you into a zombie if you go outside. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like we don't really care too much about it. So I think it could be a lot more dangerous this time around. All right, let's get right into the podcast because I don't want to stretch this thing out for an hour because, like I said, I am a bit under the weather, so we're going to try to keep it around half an hour.
Yes.
You think we can do that? Let's get into the topics.
All right. So, like a few weeks ago, Shells and I, we were talking about that conversation that every person has within a relationship. If I make it, like I'm coming back for you, like I'm gonna come back for you, or like I'm gonna definitely break you off. And honestly, I think, have you told every woman that? Like, I think
every woman that? Hell
no, not I'm not saying every woman you've been in a relationship with.
No.
Really?
Yeah, no. Fuck no.
I've been told that for like everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I thought that was a thing that everybody just says.
Nah, because I feel like sometimes you gotta mean that shit, and I don't think everybody capable of those type of like or deserving. I want to say of that type of thing. I'm not speaking about handouts. I'm just speaking in general. Somebody blow up and get X might look for you to do something for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that led to other talks about what we would and wouldn't do for family members, for friends, for ex, whoever or whatever. And other talks where you give handouts if you come up on some money and then you go broke again or whatever. So how do you feel about this? How would you handle if you come up on some real money? What are you doing for people? How will you express to them?
All right, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break this down into two different things because I think my mindset has changed. So early in the journey, where it's like, okay, you're younger and you doing something that can make you a lot of money and put your whole family in a different position. I think from that mindset, before you get to see anything, my mindset was I'm going to get rich and I'm going to buy my brother a Porsche. I'm going to buy my best friend a Porsche. I'm going to buy my dad, my mom a house. I'm going to get my aunts and my uncles, I'm gonna set them up with new cars and all that stuff. Okay, that was earlier. Now, I think after realizing the blood, sweat, and tears that it takes into chasing something and becoming successful in your own right, I don't see it like that anymore. Now, I will put my mom and my dad will always be able to get anything. I will say that. Those are just about the only people that I think can have anything from me without having to work for it. I think everybody else in my life will be put in a position to win. So if I got a homie that that love cooking all his life, I'll put him through culinary art school. You know what I'm saying? And give him a position within an organization. If I got a homegirl that know how to do hair, I'll build her a salon. 50-50 venture, we can split in half. But I can't just give anybody, you need $100,000, I'm gonna give you $100,000. I can't do that.
And I hear you, and I think it's good and it's ideal to set people up. But I think in an instance like that, you're setting people up how you see fit. And that is where I think the issue lies, because sometimes people aren't fit to be set up. Sometimes people aren't, you can't make somebody a boss if they're a worker. You feel me? And it is ideal. All right, you my family, you my friend, you ride, I'm here. I want you to be here with me too. But everybody is not built like that. And I think your model would kind of it's ideal for people who are bosses, and everybody isn't like that. So but I don't think it'll necessarily work.
At the end of the day, my idea of thinking like that is, okay, I gave you a shot, you missed your shot, you blew your shot. This money is not this money that I made on my own is not something that you've earned. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I think I would rather give somebody a shot and say, oh, you blew that, than give somebody a lot of money and say, oh, you blew that. Because if you give somebody money, it's like, okay, I blew that.
I get it. So it's like this. It's a situation like this. Say someone hits you up and they're like, can you just send me cash at me $10, bro? I'm hungry as hell.
That's petty cash, for sure.
I'm giving an example. Look how Rocky look at me. I need $10, please. I'm hungry as hell. And you find out they fucking go smoke weed, they cop or whatever. And you're like, I wouldn't have gave it to you for that or whatever. See right there. For me, because I used to be like that. Like this person isn't using it for this or whatever they say they're using it for. But I had to come to the understanding within myself. Once you release that money, it's gone. So you're not supposed to give money that you cannot afford to give away. That money is no longer accounted for on your end. So whether you give that money away and you set them up, whether you give that money away and then go blow it, that's not up to you to determine.
For sure. I think it's more, for me, it's not about giveaways. It's more about building a mindset.
Yeah, but some people can't. You understand what I mean?
I feel you. But if you can't understand where I'm coming from and you say, look, I like, so say my homie fast cars. He studied them all his life. You know what I'm saying? He know about engines and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? If I can't tell him look, Daytona 500, they got this. I can build this little sub thing for you within their company, and they saying that you can be the head tech guy there. You know what I'm saying? All that. And if he say, oh no, I don't really want to do that. Okay, then you can continue to live your life as you live your life. I can't help you. There's nothing I can do for you because I'm not going to give you my hard-earned money that I just no. Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no.
But he doesn't necessarily have to want to do what you want him to do, though.
He don't, but you got to think of something. Like, you got to think of a way to make money, because that's the real world. Like, at the end of the day, I don't believe that you can. I mean, I believe in you can teach people how to fish, but you can't just give people fish, especially after working so hard. Like I said in the beginning, when I was young in my 20s, yeah, blow it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made this money. The ego come involved. I can make this money again. If I make $1 million, I can make $1 million again. It's all ego. But after realizing in your 20s, damn, I got to work this shit into my 30s. And I've really been hustling for a long time. So when it do hit, you can't give out handouts, because that's just not the way the world works. And that's not how wealthy people think. You know what I'm saying? It's just not how wealthy people or people that keep money think. Like, that's outside the realms of their thinking. And I study rich people. So, yeah. But I always felt like that.
No,
in my later age.
And I'm not disagreeing with you. I believe it's a good model, but it's not. I believe it's a good model. There is no but. I'll say however, but always comes off as negative to me. However, it won't work for everybody. It won't work for all your family members that you want to look out for, all your friends that you want to look out for.
Sink or swim.
Honestly, I don't see you not looking out for people who you love.
Everybody that I know is an adult. And I'm talking about overgrown. You know what I'm saying? My age. Like, they're not kids. So everybody I know, overgrown. Like, they have careers. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, on the flip side of that, imagine me getting a shitload of money and my man who's worked X amount of years, he been on the same grind I've been, but he's in a corporate world. And I make X amount of money. Say I make $2 million. He make $200,000 a year. I feel like it's a smack in the face of me trying to give him a handout. He worked where he was. And when he got to his position, it wasn't like, okay, look, I'm going to give you some money to do something. Like, at the end of the day, we grown. We're this grown men. And I think when people look at making it, and if you're a successful doctor, you make $1 million. But if you're an entertainer or you do something other, people want handouts. But when you're a doctor, people don't look at it the same way.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think?
But I think I'm not necessarily even speaking about people who are like making, say, they climb the corporate ladder and they're making $200,000. I'm not necessarily speaking about those people who are well off like that. I'm speaking about the people who are, you know what I mean?
Not really well off.
Well, it's kind of doing, it's much better than,
We all live on the same, but I feel like we all, unless you're in poverty, I feel like we all live in the same fucking stream, bro. It's the same, it's all the same thing. If you can put food on your table every night, minus a couple other luxuries, we all live in the same, a house might be bigger or something like that. I feel like the higher you climb, the more money you spend, so everything balances out. I feel like if you making $200,000 a year, 9 times out of 10, you driving a nice car, you got a nice home, such and such.
But more money you're spending on trips, more money you're spending on that luxurious house or that.
But that's just once. You can make $200,000 and live in the middle of the motherfucking hood and be happy. I think we create our own.
But that's here nor there. I'm not saying. I'm just saying someone who isn't making as much money, someone who is like a family member who does actually need help, someone like that. I wasn't really actually speaking about someone who is making 6 figures.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like you got to be wanting to help yourself. Now, if you need a bill paid or my life's about to get cut off, those are petty expenses. But for somebody to ask me $100,000. And it's not for a business. Like, what are you asking for $100,000 for?
Notice you made up that number, okay? You made up these numbers and ran with it.
10 racks. Say 10 racks. What are you asking me for $10,000 for? If it's not a bill, if it's not an overdue bill that they about to evict me, I need 10 racks.
I could easily ask someone for $10,000 and go shopping. and spend that very easily.
That's not and that's what I'm talking about.
But
like that's the type of spending that I'm talking about. Like no, 10 grand to go shopping when you can start a business with 10 grand.
Listen, but obviously, if I'm spending 10 grand, then there's much more where that came from. I'm not saying like I don't have nothing and I want to take 10 grand and go shopping.
What I'm saying is people would ask you for 10 grand and go spend 10 grand in Louis. And that's not efficient. That's not going to get you out of your position. That's not going to do anything to help you. And I can't partake in that. It's just my way of thinking. And I don't want you around me. Like, get away from me.
I hear you. I like your model. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Is there any topics to that?
No, sir.
Right. So let's move on to what is this? Gender roles and relationships. Go ahead, you can kick that one off. Gender roles and relationships.
Yes. So
that's interesting. I don't think I got a chance to think about this.
Do you believe in gender roles? Do you believe that the woman, I mean, and it's so multi-layered. Like, do you believe the woman can be the breadwinner? Do you believe the man can stay at home? Respectfully. Do you believe that traditionally we have these gender roles, but do you still believe in masculine and feminine energy? Like, because I believe the gender roles are more based on masculine and feminine energies now versus like the old concepts of gender roles where the woman stayed home and was the homemaker and the man was the breadwinner and the woman cooked and cleaned. And
I think whatever fits y'all situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you come into a situation and your husband might be working at somewhere making $70,000 a year, right? Happy though, like he loves it, and the wife could be making $150. But in order to make that $150, she got to stay at work longer. So she got more demanded hours, and he only worked 5 hours a day. Then he get to go take care of the kids. I think that's a perfect situation. I don't think anybody should change that. I think a man should be able to be comfortable in that situation, making his $70,000, not having to spend as much time at work, and coming home taking care of the kids and washing the kids and, you know, doing all that stuff. I think society I believe it's changing, but I think society kind of painted the picture of like the man should be the breadwinner, the man should be this macho, you know, all that. And I just disagree with that totally.
So you would be okay with making, if you were setting your career and your wife was setting her career, you would be okay with making less money than her?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Fucking real. Yeah. I don't see no issue with that. I mean, cause like what you, that's ego. Like what you gonna do?
Okay.
Like,
so,
and that's why niggas be jumping off of rules now. Like you can have a great job, but then your ego make you want to make more to your wife, and on the side you start selling cocaine.
Okay.
This dumb shit.
So, same situation. Your wife's making more than you. She bears the child. She's going back to work. She wants you to quit your job, and you stay home with the kids. What are you doing?
All right. Quit for how long?
What? Until them kids could talk and go to.
I mean,
for 3-4 years.
If you gotta take one for the team, but I mean,
and you gonna be cooking and doing the little girl's hair?
Yeah, I mean, I can't answer that question flat out because at the end of the day, I am a creative. So like, I will make a way to make money. I will start vlogging, and me and my kids will have a YouTube channel while mommy at work, and we be making money.
Okay, and you'll have no issues with having dinner ready and doing the baby's hair?
Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no. Yeah, that's the job. That's the job, you know? Yeah.
That's lit. That's what's up.
Yeah. I really don't see nothing wrong with that. But it just leans back to that men being macho and having to be tough and be the breadwinner. And like, trust me, I agree with that. I was raised like that. But after a while, you start to see the destruction of the black male. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, if a 2-year-old baby fall, it's like, get up, be tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, that baby can't cry. If a baby boy, if a 12-year-old boy get hit playing football and he bruises his ribs and he's laying on the ground, get up, be tough. You know what I'm saying? It's just that mentality that leads to us be tough. By the time you're 18, 19, it could lead to you being tough out here. You know what I'm saying? Shooting shit, being, you know what I'm saying? So
my issue is
I really don't fuck with that mentality.
Yeah, and like with the children, the babies, my issue is like 100% lies with those parents who like they can't, like the boys can't play with dolls and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, these little boys, these babies, these toddlers, they literally are just playing. Like, they have no clue. Like, it's like this. Grown-ups tend to sexualize things. Mm-hmm. When that child, I mean, you actually think about it, that child has no concepts of these ideas that we are actually sexualizing. So even another example, and this is way off, like people like, oh, I would never breastfeed. Like, I don't want my kid, my son on my nipple. Like, that's dumb as hell. And I'm sorry if you feel that way. If you feel that way, cool. I totally disagree. It's dumb as hell.
Yeah. Because
like that's nature. You're feeding your child. How you sexualize that and compare a baby to a man, a grown man, like licking your breast.
That's a real thing. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's wild. That's wild. You'll buy your son a Barbie?
So look, if I don't have children, if I was at the store and my son was like, can I get this? Like, I wanna play with fucking Samantha, his little cousin who had Barbie dolls. All right, fine. Like, what is that? You know what I mean? So like, and then it's a whole idea of, oh, that's gonna make him gay. Like, no, the fuck is not. Like, playing with a doll does not make a child gay. Yeah. Like, it's just, it's crazy. Yeah. So, and then that was a good question. You put me on the spot and I just had to think about it. But honestly, I think that would be my answer. Put me in a situation, I don't know how that would change. But realistically, like, that doesn't do anything for the child. Like, doesn't make him soft. Like, first of all, who cares if a fucking kid is soft? Like you said, you want him to be hard out here? Show you what that gets you. But like, what negative effects does that have on a child? Yeah. Rather than being able to engage with another child playing dolls.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that always been like a struggle. How people come from certain areas, like say, okay, let's say Jay-Z come from a certain area and he grew up hard his whole life, and before you have kids, you're a millionaire 100 times over. And how do you raise your boy? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to instill any of this street toughness in him? Because while I do believe that shit is damaging, I believe it's a blessing at the same time. But I don't think it's something that you just instill in somebody. It's not something that you can just be like, here, all right, I'm going to drop you off in Marcy for like the summer. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to have to survive out there. Like, because that's a crazy, you don't want your child to die. Yeah, those are things that I always struggle with. Like, how much of ghetto can you put, not ghetto, but like this, that black strength, can you put that in your kid without having them go into the hoods? You know what I'm saying? Can you instill that in other ways? And I think you can. Do like chores and like
there's so many different ways, because like, even like now, like, you think about it, like the term tomboy, like societies have coined like certain sports or certain things for people to do and like literally put people in boxes. So just because a female plays basketball, a woman plays basketball, a girl plays basketball, she's a tomboy, right? Why?
Yeah.
Why? That like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So those are the gender roles that I'm speaking of. Like, you can be 100% feminine, and like just because you play a sport, just because you want to play video games, and like maybe you fucking grew up with brothers, and like that was your bonding time with your brothers. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of stupid ideas that still, and I think that society is still getting a lot better, but it's a lot of ideas that still like real weird, and like the sexist.
A lot of this shit is outdated.
It's real outdated.
There's so many people that's holding on to old ways, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's where we at with it right now.
Yeah, come on, you got men out here wearing skirts. Like, I don't think little boys should be. Yeah, like, yeah, buy your fucking son a doll.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, if he wants it, I'm not. I mean,
we only putting labels on that shit.
And realistically,
if you buy your son a Barbie and he got a Benz at home, and he just putting the Barbie in the Benz, and you know he with his I don't know what toys is out, Transformer characters. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and realistically, I don't see you being out having your child out at a store, and if you had a son picking up a toy and you saying no, you can't get that, and you're like a manly, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's way outdated. That shit is dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And one thing I wanted to, you talked about the breaking of a man, like black men, and I think talk about being outdated. You bring, it makes me think of the Willie Lynch letters. Like, it's 400 years of oppression. Told you how to break a black man down, how that would affect the family, how the woman will look at the man, how their sons will look at their mothers and their fathers, and why like black women are so strong the way they are today. And one of the reasons why I say, like, I still do believe in masculine and feminine energy is because, like, if you're in a relationship, I still do think that you need that. So because there's a relationship and there's a woman.
I saw that joke too. I saw that joke creeping.
You're in a relationship, a woman and a man, and she doesn't respect him because she makes more money than him. You know what I mean? So like, or he's down and out and he can't get a job. Like, that if you still have that energy, that feminine, masculine energy, that's not gonna mean anything. You know what I mean? So like, those letters, if y'all never heard of Willie Lynch letters, I mean, a lot of people have them, sure, but they sure as hell taught you how to break down 400 years. And like, we coming up out of that shit, and you see the difference now.
Facts. All right. Oh, this is a good one. All right. All right, the segue into this one. All right, siblings, mother, father, and kids. I'm pretty sure growing up, we all seen it. Treating a mother or father, treating one sibling better than the other, or two siblings better than the other, or having a favorite daughter, or having a favorite son.
I mean,
do you think that's the thing? You think it's
I mean, yeah, and we could also tie that into like the gender roles and how parents look like, oh, girls, you do the dishes, boys take out the trash, or whatever. And being more lenient with their sons rather than their daughters. But I think that's definitely a thing when the favorite child, I mean, there's a favorite child. I don't think there's such thing as that in my family, but other people's family for sure.
I really don't think that's a thing.
So you think it's the children feeling that way rather than the actual parent.
100%. It's just perception. I think it's just how you perceive that shit.
But how about if there's more than one child who feels that way? If it's 3 children and 2 of the children feels like
it's still perception. It's still perception. Because at the end of the day, I just don't see, like, everybody got to get raised different, and everybody is raised different, and you know, like families. I think. All right, I'll take my family, right? I have a brother and a sister. Okay, so my brother was raised mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like happy home scenario. Like he do bad in school, he get punished. You know what I'm saying?
Dad discipline
and all that. So by the time I was that age, my dad was like, my parents had split. So they was kind of like focused on rebuilding their own life. They still was young adults, you know what I'm saying? So I think for me, it's 2 ways you can look at it. Because if I'm looking at my brother, I'm looking at it like, damn, you had that extra push. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just out here. Like, you had the extra push. And if my brother looking at me, he probably looking at, yo, you didn't have, you had it easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had it easy. And then when I can bring my sister into it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Jad, I mentioned her, but I feel like she had the whole family. What happened?
No, go ahead.
I feel like she had the whole, the love coming from everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't believe in a favorite kid. Because then I put myself in my situation. Like, my daughter, like, if I had a son, it would be, if I have a son, it would be totally different. I would be a lot harder at him, but it don't mean that one.
You would be a lot harder on him? Why?
Because as a black man, you gotta, it's certain things you gotta learn out here. It's a lot easier making it out.
I believe that you do have to cheat. I don't know about the favorites or whatever, but I do believe some parents definitely do have favorites. I do believe that you do have to treat children accordingly. So, if I were a child that you didn't have to push and naturally studied and got good grades and did what you asked me to do, of course you wouldn't have to do the same things that you did with my rebellious younger brother, obviously. So but I do think it's a struggle. I think parents do struggle because you got the boys, the girls, and like, how do I raise these children without making one feel away because girls can't do everything boys do. I mean, supposedly. And boys can't do everything girls do. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, is it looked at fair? Or you got kids with younger siblings. Like, for instance, if you have like a 6-year-old and then the parent has another child, now you have a 6 and a 1-year-old. And
hold on, cause it even further than that, because when my mom had my sister, I was 12 years old, and I was jealous as fuck of that. I think that's very
5 years. I think that's very weird.
You think it's weird?
So my sister, and the example I was about to bring up is my sister. But my sister had one of her children is 17, and then Hamp is 6. So when Hamp was born and Sue is 10 and she's acting all jealous, I'm looking at her like, you're weird as hell. You too old. Honestly, that's honestly how I felt.
You're saying a 10-year-old is too old to
I
be
felt
jealous
like
of a
she
1-year-old.
was very. First of all, she was a newborn baby.
Nah,
the baby.
You wildin'.
She was turning 11 the next month.
She's 10.
However, so yeah, I thought she was very weird because it's a baby, and like you got to understand, these children are very aware. They are very aware these days, and it's not like she wasn't not getting any attention. It's not like she was a baby. Getting all the attention. She was
I think when you're that age, it's always hard because you're used to getting all the attention. You're like I said, I was 12, so I had her by 2 years. And when my sister was born, it was like all the attention like this went away from me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm 12, so naturally, I think you seek from other places. You know what I'm saying? So that I would. Started hanging on the corners. I started venturing into the streets because at home the dynamic changed. My mom and my dad always loved me, and but it was just like I wasn't priority anymore. So it's like, yeah, you can resent somebody over that shit.
So I'm just never going to understand that because I have tons of siblings and it's always been a lot of us, and it's always been the focus was not anyone in particular, it was all of us. So when you say like you don't get I don't get that.
Y'all had a different dynamic though. Yeah, y'all just had a different dynamic. But yeah, I think that's a thing for almost all. If you got a kid that's a lot older than the other kid, it's probably gonna be jealousy somewhere.
I mean,
and it's not like jealousy like I hate you. It's just like,
no, sometimes it is, but I think it's more of a reason to be more jealous if you're younger, if the age gap is smaller. So if my niece, oh God, and all right, Hamp's 6, Tommy's 2 now. I wanted to bring this to treating the one child different. So if you have like a 6-year-old and you tell your 6-year-old like, give the 2-year-old whatever she wants because I don't want to hear her crying. Like, I understand why the parent may do it, sure, but it's kind of like that right there is fucked up because what are you teaching that 6-year-old?
I mean, I don't think it's fucked up because I mean you could be teaching them balance. Like, it's an early crash course in life. You know what I'm saying? So
is everything that you have 6-year-old, you got to give this 2-year-old now because you know at such a young age you look up to your older siblings, so they're gonna want everything. But I think in a balanced home, you would teach your 2-year-old from such a young age, like, listen, you can't have that. That's such and such. Yeah, you know what I mean?
That shit just go back to dynamics because it's like me and my brother. Like he never, and I think this is one thing, like, I wish I could have been earlier. I wish I would have been a lot nicer to my younger sibling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I rebelled. Like, I don't know what happened to me. But my brothers, I know what it was. I was allowed to be out. You know, I was 12. You know, when my mom had me, my brother was 8, so he still was a kid. When my mom had my sister, I was like, I can just go out the door, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't have to, I wasn't forced to be, I didn't look at myself as a kid at 12, you know what I'm saying? And as far as my brother treated me really, really good and shit when I was a kid. I used to follow him around, like he never had like no issues with none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to hang with his friends. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. And I think with my sister, it was like I was so much older than her, you know what I'm saying? And then she was a little girl, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know how to be fragile. I was 12, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have no idea. So it's just like, it was just a whole totally different dynamic. But I the one thing that I do say, like, I was able to take on a parenting role. Like, I look at my sister as like my first child. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, because I was so old, by the time I was 15 and my mom working a full-time job, I'm coming home from school, I'm going to pick her up from daycare, I'm feeding her, I'm changing her, I'm putting her to bed. So it was like, it just became like this father role after a certain time. And I think after that point, it just never, it always been tight. You know what I'm saying? Like after the 3 years of jealousy.
Yeah, so the 3 years of jealousy. So yeah, I think it for me, I think it would make more sense if the younger child were jealous. Because like we're so close in age. I was just a baby, literally just a baby. And like, and now here you are, new baby. But versus an older child, like 10, like my niece being 10 and you being 12, like that's wild to me.
I think it's safe jealousy versus like crazy jealousy. And I think the older you are, like, cause just like.
But the crazy thing is Hamp is so good with Tommy. Like you don't see Hamp exhibiting any behavior of like jealousy, honestly. And I'm sure she does have those moments, but she's so good with her. Yeah. So I think that's it for the topics, because I feel sick as fuck, bro. We gonna go knock these.
I'm about to die.
These whatever stuff is. I think I have a sinus. I don't like to claim sick. So
yeah. So all right, we're gonna wrap this one up with a bow. This is episode number 3 of the We Differ podcast. I am your host, Shell456, alongside my beautiful, lovely, amazing co-host Eep. And we signing out.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. We love y'all. Continue to tune in, support, and show love when we put these joints on social media. Let's chop it up in the comments. You heard me?
Peace.
Peace.
Your arms look real chiseled.
Chiseled.